Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro will be receiving federal funding in the impressive amount of $6.9 million for parks and recreation projects and the J. Douglas Galleon Depot. The U.S. House and Senate Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Appropriations Subcommittees voted on the continuing resolutions earlier this month. This allocation earmarked for Greensboro will assist with the advancement of the following community projects: $4 million for the Atlantic and Yadkin Greenway, more than $1 million for the contaminated property at Bingham Park, another $1 million for the Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Complex, and $850,000 for the J. Douglas Galleon Depot. Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn said, "We thank Congresswoman Kathy Manning for playing a key role in our community receiving this much-needed funding. The nearly $7 million will contribute to significant quality of life projects such as remediating contamination and restoring Bingham Park, improving the historic J. Douglas Galleon Depot, and construction of the Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Complex located in East Greensboro." The continuing resolution for these bills was sent to President Biden for his signature. At the urging of local residents and conservation groups, the Greensboro City Council adopted a policy to promote the use of native plants and eliminate invasive plants at city-owned facilities. Native plants help maintain, restore, and protect the health and biodiversity of local ecosystems, supporting native pollinators, birds, and other wildlife. Native plants often require less maintenance in addition to being part of the historical and cultural heritage of the community. Invasive plants disrupt the native ecosystems and displace native plants and animals. The policy is triggered when the city installs new or replacement plant materials in outdoor landscaped areas of city-owned or maintained sites or facilities. It calls for the city to use at least 50% seeds and plants classified as native to North Carolina or the southeastern United States by next year. In the future, a native plant list specific to Guilford County will be developed. The policy prohibits the city from planting species identified as invasive by the state's authorities on native plants. The policy does not apply to private property. For more information about native and invasive plants, visit the website for the North Carolina Native Plant Society. The City of Greensboro is being granted $825,000 from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service to conduct a 5-year tree canopy study. The grant will be managed by the city's Office of Sustainability and Resilience with support from other city departments. The competitive grant is one of 385 awarded by the Forest Service to plant and maintain trees, combat extreme heat and climate change, and improve access to nature. The city's project is titled "Keeping the Green in Greensboro, a Tree Canopy Assessment and Equity Prioritization." This will include an assessment of how much of the city is covered by trees. This research has not been conducted in Guilford County since 2009. Greensboro Chief Sustainability Officer Dr. Sri Doristant said in addition to the tree canopy study, the grant will fund creating an equity prioritization tool to restore and/or expand tree canopies in our disadvantaged communities. The project will also include a website for community engagement, data tracking, maps, and resources for visualizing and providing feedback about the study. For more information about the grant program, visit the website for the U.S. Forest Service. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's News for Your Health.
For most people, occasional lapses in memory are a normal part of the aging process. but sometimes not. As we get older, there are some normal memory errors that we make that are age-related. For example, misplacing your keys, having trouble finding a word while you're talking, even forgetting an appointment. That's not cause for concern. What I see is that when people make these errors much more frequently and they begin to disrupt their lifestyle, then we start to worry that there may be a dementia coming. A lot of people ask me, how can I maintain the memory I have or the thinking skills I have? Sometimes when we forget, it's not that we're forgetting information, but we're not actually absorbing it. So if you're having visual problems or hearing problems, or you've been diagnosed with those and you're supposed to wear glasses or hearing aids, please do wear those and get those kinds of things checked out. Secondly, sleep. Sleep is very, very important for memory. And we find that people who have inadequate sleep or disorders of sleep will have problems with staying alert and also problems with memory during the daytime. Drinking too much alcohol, use of drugs, and smoking. I would recommend stopping smoking because when you're smoking, you're actually taking oxygen out of the brain, and it can actually worsen your health in other ways. Stay intellectually engaged. Doing crossword puzzles or word searches, that's fine, but what research shows us is that when you're doing those activities and it's a social context where you're doing it with other people, it can be much, much more effective to keep you mentally sharp. So, get involved in book clubs, go to dance classes, things like that can be very helpful. Another important thing is exercise, and people don't always realize that exercise is important to brain health. 30 minutes a day, if you can, of aerobic activity can be very, very effective in promoting the health of your brain because you're pumping blood through your brain. Managing stress and depression, that's an important one. I think that a lot of folks who are having memory problems, what we find out is that they're having very stressful lifestyles or they're actually depressed. Many of my patients ask me what they can do in terms of aids to use to improve their memory. First, you can definitely write things down. That's probably the easiest thing to do, either in a cell phone or on a pad of paper. Using a calendar that's in a central location in your home to kind of mark down appointments and important information can be very helpful. Asking people to repeat what they say to you back, even if you think you've heard it, and then rehearsing what you hear back in your own mind can be very helpful in strengthening the memory trace that you get. Another memory aid would be using alarms. So if you have to do something at a certain time to program your watch or your cell phone to give you an alarm to remind you to do something. If you worry that you're having memory problems or you're worried about a loved one having memory problems, I think the first thing to do is consult with your personal care physician. There are many medical conditions that could cause memory loss. Medical conditions such as thyroid disease, vitamin deficiencies. There can even be side effects of medications that can cause memory loss, so you want your physician to be able to review those with you and make sure that that's going fine. Thanks for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. For more information about memory and wellness, please visit conehealth.com/wellness. I'm Dr. Michael Zelson.
The city wants to capture your ideas and vision for a well-traveled corridor on the east side, and the numbers are in for Guilford Metro 911. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Residents will have opportunities to share their vision for the future of the Randleman Road corridor. The Greensboro Planning Department invites the public to attend an open house on Thursday, March 21st to share your perspective with the city. The meeting will take place from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the New Goshen United Methodist Church located at 3300 Randleman Road. This open house kicks off Phase 2 of the Randleman Road Corridor Plan, which builds on the progress and recommendations from Phase 1. The first phase focused primarily on improving transportation and encouraging reinvestment. The second phase covers a 2.3-mile stretch of the Randleman Road area from the I-40 interchange on the north to Greensboro's southern border. The Randleman Road Corridor Plan is expected to be complete in the fall. For more information, visit the city's website or contact Kelly Larkins at 336-412-5739. In advance of advertising an official request for proposal or RFP, the City of Greensboro is conducting a survey to assess the needs of the Downtown Business Improvement District. The survey is available online to all interested stakeholders through Friday, March 29th. The input will help inform the scope of work that an entity will be contracted to manage on behalf of the city, beginning with the new budget year in July. Property owners in this district pay a tax rate of 9 cents per $100 of value on their property. The tax goes into a special fund. The revenue covers a range of programs and services, facilities, and developmental activities above and beyond what the city would typically provide through the budget. Again, the survey is available online to all interested stakeholders through Friday, March 29th. Guilford Metro 911 has published its 2023 annual report. The publication showcases the agency's operations of providing dispatch and radio services for dozens of cities, towns, and unincorporated areas, while continuously rolling out new and improved high-tech solutions. Director Melanie Jones said, "I am very proud of the GM 911 team. They continue to manage an increase of calls while being short-staffed. Their dedication and professionalism fulfills our mission of high-level customer service to the community." In 2023, Guilford Metro 911 handled more than 725,000 calls and received credit for saving more than 54 lives. To review more data and accomplishments from the annual report, please visit the city's website. The City of Greensboro is looking for a few good men and women interested in law enforcement. Coming up after the break, find out if you have what it takes to join the Greensboro Police Department. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. There are so many TV shows dating back several decades that magnify the danger and drama associated with police work. From the golden oldies such as Hawaii Five-0 and Kojak to today's popular Chicago PD and SWAT series. Joining me now to tell us what GPD is really looking for is Officer T.D. Harris. He is on the recruitment team with the Greensboro Police Department. Hello, Officer Harris. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Carla. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. So for any of our viewers who are interested in law enforcement, tell us about the general requirements that GPD looks for in terms of the ideal recruit.
Ideal recruit, that's a great question. We would say someone who is very passionate, self-driven. Some basic qualifications would be a high school diploma, GED as well. And I think the biggest thing that we're looking for, if I had to say outside of the high school diploma, is just your self-motivation and wanting to do further with your life and also with the community.
Okay, well, those are good skills to have. And as far as standout job applicants, if they meet those general criteria that you just listed, once you get into the academy, what makes a really great recruit stand out?
I think someone who is willing to be humble and coachable. Once they get through the hiring process and make it to the academy, you're there to learn. And so, you come in and make sure that you come in whatever your experience is prior, whether you have good life experience, a lot or little, just remain humble and coachable.
Okay, good to know. Now, when you mentioned the police academy, can you give us an overview of the type of training that recruits must successfully complete?
Yes, ma'am. So a general overview is the academy is in-house. It's a fully paid academy. It's 6 months long. During that time, you will go through training courses such as constitutional law, firearms training, physical fitness training. You'll also go through driver's training, and then several other more. You'll have to meet the state requirements of accurately passing each section, and then after all of the sessions, you'll go and you'll perform a state regulated test to pass that. Once you pass that, then you'll proceed to graduation.
Okay, well, that's the big goal and that's the finish line. Now, I'm sure that there's a long list, but if you could, I'm sure people are interested. The academy is paid, but then just down the road, once you pass the academy, you graduate, what does the salary structure and benefits look like?
Great question. So salary structure is, once you begin the academy, you start roughly at our baseline is $55,000 plus a year. Once you graduate the academy, you get a pay raise. So you go up to $57,000.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And then you get a yearly incentive on top of that.
Okay, and then other things that may be beneficial if you speak a different language?
Yes, ma'am. So you do get a Spanish incentive. We have military incentive, sign-in bonus incentive, your educational incentive for associates and bachelors. All of that is like icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great starting pay. And to know that the academy, I'll stress again, is paying you to go through the academy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how long have you been a police officer with GPD, and what do you find most enjoyable about being in law enforcement?
I've been with Greensboro Police going on my 8th year. What I find most enjoyable is my job is different every day. My office changes from day to day. I don't know what I'll be doing from point A to point B, and I enjoy that. It's excitement. It's fulfilling. And then you're working in a team environment. I love that aspect of it as well.
Okay, well, we are glad that you are out there on the force keeping us safe. And if folks are listening and they just heard everything that you mentioned in terms of the training, the pay, the salary, the benefits, and just the variety of what the job brings, how can they get more information or access the application? And when would that next academy start?
Okay, so we have a upcoming hiring event that's going to be April the 20th. I think if someone is interested in this profession and have questions and want to see more, I would encourage everyone to come out on April the 20th. It's a Saturday. We'll start at 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. And that'll be a good way for you to come in and see our training facility, see where you'll actually be at for those 6 months at the academy. You'll be able to see the indoor firing range, the gym. You better speak to all the recruiters, specialized teams and units. That's going to be a great opportunity, and you can also apply that day. You can test that day as well. But if you're still on the fence, instead of going to the website, because we do have that option, it's gbdcareers.com. I would tell someone who is really considering joining the police department and you're on the fence is to call the Greensboro Police Department and ask to speak to one of the police recruiters.
Okay.
We will not only contact you, we may even take you, we may go out for coffee, whatever it may be, and answer those general questions and fears that you may have about policing. All the police recruiters are very knowledgeable about the job, and then also outside the job when it comes to how it affects our family as well. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's a very personal touch and very much needed, as law enforcement is a tough career, and we do appreciate everything that you do to keep our community safe, hoping that this conversation will generate a host of new applicants for your next academy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council meetings take place in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The City of Greensboro and the National Park Service will host the reenactment of the Revolutionary War Battle of Guilford Courthouse. The free event will take place at Country Park and the Guilford Courthouse National Military Park from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, March 16th, and again from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, March 17th. Parking is available at J.C. Park on J.C. Park Drive. The entrance at Nathaniel Green Drive will be closed during the event. The battle will be reenacted at 2 p.m. daily on the very land where the action took place in 1781. The reenactment starts promptly, and visitors are encouraged to arrive at least 10 minutes early to walk or take the shuttle to the battlefield from the parking area. Military encampments will be there to depict the lives of the Revolutionary War soldiers. Vendors will be on hand to sell colonial merchandise, food, and drinks. Living history programs will take place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and due to the intensity of the cannons and musket fire, dogs are not permitted on the battlefield. For more information and a map of the military encampments and battlefield at Country Park, please visit the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some special events happening this week on the town. Organist Susan Bates, Dreama Lovett, and Sarah Kennedy kick off the 25th anniversary year celebration of the Dobson-Rosales organ at West Market Street United Methodist Church on March 21st. Admission is free and open to the public. Guests are asked to bring one canned food item to benefit the food pantries at UNC Greensboro and North Carolina A&T State University. Learn more at westmarketchurch.org. The Greensboro History Museum honors Women's History Month on March 23rd as costumed historical interpreters interact with visitors and tell stories of successful Greensboro women. From 12 to 3, the actors will mingle with guests in the museum galleries, and from 3 to 4, they'll be part of a Little Lions Kids program. Learn more online at greensborohistory.org. The Greensboro Ballet performs 2 showings of storybook tales on March 23rd at the Carolina Theater. The program features a suite of dances from Coppelia, Fancy Nancy and the Mermaid Ballet, plus an eclectic mix of ballets created and choreographed by Greensboro Ballet faculty. Learn more at carolinatheater.com. Greensboro's National Arena League football team, the Carolina Cobras, opened their 2024 home schedule March 24th against the Omaha Beef in the Greensboro Coliseum. The Cobras returned key veterans from last year's team, which reached the NAL championship. Visit carolinacobras.com for more information. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Housing and Neighborhood Development Department is hosting 2 Zoom meetings this week. Residents, lenders, and community partners can receive updates about the progress being made to establish a Community Land Trust, or CLT, in Greensboro. A representative from the contractor Grounded Solutions Network will explain the feasibility of a CLT and the process for developing a community business plan to move forward in Greensboro. Meeting participants will be encouraged to share feedback on the presentation. The goal of a community land trust in Greensboro is to create permanent, affordable housing for low to moderate income families on developed and undeveloped parcels of land located in redevelopment and reinvestment areas. These Zoom meetings will take place on Tuesday, March 19th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and on Thursday, March 21st from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break is our Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the City of Greensboro EcoBus. Lake Brent will host an open house to showcase some of the animal ambassadors of the EcoBus. The event will take place from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, March 23rd at the marina on Lake Brent Road. This is a free event and open to the public and individuals who plan educational programs for schools, nursing homes, or daycares. Prepare to see some native and non-native animals up close and learn fun facts about each species. The EcoBus is hosted by the Parks and Recreation Environmental Education staff. This concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM, 100.7 FM, and 90.5 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO. Plus, GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.